Go for it.
Damn, with the one ha. What a lunatic. Should I write back? Should I write this to Dan?
Yeah. Ask me to do the 1 minute version. And this is to you guys. Why don't you spray the olive oil on my ass? Call me Rick, and then let's fire up the air fryer because my ass is going in the... I don't know. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, before we begin, I'll remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean because... you know, guys have dongs. Ladies have vaginas.
I wouldn't box yourself into that.
What's up?
I wouldn't box yourself into that.
Oh, you think?
I'd keep it just open.
Like people have genitalia?
Yeah.
People have genitalia. Yeah. And then, but here's something. Everyone has genitalia. Everyone has pubes.
I wouldn't box yourself into that either.
Really?
That everyone has genitalia? I'm not sure if that's how it is or kosher at this point.
Well, everyone has pubes, right?
For sure.
Okay. Well, for the people who don't have pubes, you can turn off the podcast for this portion or just skip forward because this company is called Manscaped, and it's for people with pubes. And COVID spring break is right around the corner. You know what that means. Spring break is in your pants. Woo! You don't want a wild and untamed like mountain man down there in your fucking jorts, you know?
You want that in your soul, not on your...
Exactly.
Not on your hair.
Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, people say you want to have that, you want people to know that you have a lion inside you.
Yeah.
But you want to let them know that you've tamed it, but he still lives inside you and he's capable of that roar. And I think well-trimmed pubes get that point across.
Yeah, that's some JP Jungian psychology stuff right there.
Right. So let people know that you have the darkness within with a well-trimmed set of pubes. And if you want to get that well-trimmed set of pubes, even Veronica Corningstone wouldn't say no to this pants party because the party's in your pants. And for everyone preparing for a pants party this spring break, I have an exclusive 20% discount. Use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. That's GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. Guys, we also have merch. I don't know if you saw on our socials, but we dropped some fire merch. JT is rocking the Lift Heavy, Feel Heavy shirt, which I think is the best description for JT. JT, when you wake up in the morning, what do you tell yourself you're going to do?
Get through it.
And you say you're going to lift heavy.
Oh, and I'm going to lift heavy and feel heavy every day of the week, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
You got to move some weight. If you're ever feeling bad, just put some steel overhead. You'll feel better.
Exactly. And then also we have a Jabwow shirt. Strider has a Dank IPA shirt. Some Stoke Nation shirts. Stoke Nation. A hoodie. Epic hoodie, which I'm really fired up on. A pink Stoke Nation shirt, which I'm really fired up on.
That's
what else,
really cool.
What else do we have? Small dong shirt, of course.
We got like the In-N-Out style one. We've got the Fox News one.
Yeah, you can support the pod, In-N-Out Going Deep, and then Fox News, like a Fox News-esque Chad and JT one.
Yeah.
An ode to Waters World, who I hope will, you know, we can mend that.
You reached back out to him.
Yeah, and he said, Jesse likes this stuff, but he's like, he burned that bridge,
Dude, you know
bro.
what I say? Fuck him.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
But I would go back on, though.
We'll give him a reason to want us to be back on.
That's the thing. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, you can't ask to be on. You need them to be like, dude, bros, we need to have you back on. And you're like, say you're sorry.
Yeah, don't ask to be invited to the party. Just display something that the party would need, and then you'll get that invite.
Yeah, that's the best way to go about life. Present yourself with certain value, and even if you've told the world you have a small dong. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you guys get what I'm getting.
Yeah,
trying to get
we're
across.
kind of banned for some bullocks, anyways.
Yeah.
It wasn't that inflammatory what we said.
No.
I get why they were upset. They told us no shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know being honest about how small my dick was shenanigans.
I thought it was a legit. You know what? I think we were just putting out into the world a certain sense of vulnerability, and I think that they just weren't ready for it, and maybe they were just. I just wish we could sit down with them and they'd be like, guys, listen, like, we respect how vulnerable you were. We respect the courage, but we're not there yet. Our audience is not there yet. We're working towards it, and maybe someday we can.
A dialogue would have been nice.
Meet in the middle. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Absolutely.
We'll get there.
I think every fence gets mended.
Mm-hmm.
No, bridge gets burned. I think nothing is separated forever. Nothing is permanent.
No.
If you have a beef with someone, to me that's just energy between you and that other person, and energy wants to be resolved.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I mean, time heals all. Doesn't heal small dongs, but it heals burned bridges.
And I think the farther away you get from the reconciliation,
Mm-hmm.
the more beautiful it'll be when it happens.
It is going to be a great moment. I'm really looking forward to that. And too, with like grudges, I hold grudges for like a week because I got that goldfish brain, and then they'll be like, "You're supposed to be mad at that guy." I'm like, "For what?"
You are so nice that sometimes I'll like get advice. I'll be like, "Hey, like this person's pissing me off," and you'll be like, "Nah, man." And then I'll be like, Chad's right. They're not pissing me off. But then I'll go home and like talk to somebody else about it. And they're like, that person's a piece of shit. And I'm like, Chad said they're cool.
Yeah, is that good or bad? I don't know.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
I don't know. I've never really been able to detect when people are talking shit to me. You know, in high school, like people are like, dude, why don't you? Have you ever been in a fight? And I'm like, well, I missed every opportunity. Like people would tell me, you know. Like a day or hours after, they'd be like, you know, that guy was trying to fight you, right? I'm like, I thought you were just saying what's up.
Right.
So I've never really had the opportunity to throw down because I just, you know, when people try and square up on me, I just think they're, you know, being homies.
I think that's why you get along so much better with the schmoll Kevin.
Yeah.
Is because I take all of his aggression as aggression.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to me like that. I will fucking kick your ass.
Yeah.
And you take it as just like
I think he's
him
being
being
hilarious.
a puppy dog. Yeah.
He cracks me up.
Dude, in our intro when you said Veronica, who was the Veronica that was mentioned in the Manscaped?
Veronica Corningstone. It took me a second to get it from Anchorman.
Right.
Because they highlighted, they're like, please say this line. And I didn't, at first I was like, and then I got Veronica Corningstone.
So I initially thought that they were referencing Veronica Vaughn from Billy Madison, which made me think about Chris Farley's performance where he's like, that Veronica Vaughn is one hot piece of ass. I would know. And then Billy's like, no, you wouldn't. He's like, no, I wouldn't. And it made me think about what are the best cameos in movie history. Because I think that's kind of a cameo. Chris Farley has a lot of good ones because he's really funny in Dirty Work too.
Yeah. Chris Farley,
Will Ferrell
and Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers, yeah.
That's got to be one of the best. I know that's one of Strider's favorites. He just knocked that one out of the park.
He's so funny in it. Him and Starsky and Hutch is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. in the movie Chef is really good.
I haven't seen that.
Bill Murray in Zombieland.
That's a good one. Brad Pitt in what's the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool?
Oh, I didn't know he's in that.
He gets like he's a brief cameo where he's getting electrocuted.
I walked out of Deadpool.
You did?
Yeah.
It's too like
I felt like I was
sarcastic.
talking to like witty 12-year-olds.
Right.
I was like, enough.
Yeah. No, I'm not really on board with the super sarcastic like break the fourth wall kind of shit.
It was a little cheap to me.
Yeah. People love that, I guess.
It's killing it.
Yeah. Not really my style though. I don't. Do you like in a movie when they sort of like wink at you? They're like, and you're the audience watching this, and isn't this ridiculous?
One of my favorite movies does that 24-hour Party People,
Mm-hmm.
this Steve Coogan movie about the Manchester music scene. But I don't know, it genuinely felt clever with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like in Annie Hall, there's some of that, and it genuinely feels clever.
Yeah.
But with Deadpool, it felt, I don't know, a little I don't know, cheesy or easy or something.
Yeah.
So I wasn't into it. So I can like it, but I'm with you. Ordinarily, I don't like it.
Is it? Do you think it's Ryan Reynolds sort of like dry humor?
I like his humor in doses, but I don't know if I can do 2 straight hours of it.
Yeah.
Just like hitting me over the head.
Yeah.
I think my friend had a really good friend who had that kind of humor, who like everything he turned into like a kind of like a, oh really? Mm-hmm. Is that what you think? Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, I don't think this is the right moment for that kind of tone.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, hey, like let's go to Pedro's Tacos over Bagel Shack, and he'd be like, oh, big man with the big call.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, why are you talking like? I like the guy, but I was like, why are you throwing that energy out? It's too much.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who I remember there's this girl I was interested in my senior year of high school, and she's from New Jersey. We were on like a trip together, and she's from New Jersey. And everything I would say, she's like, I'm from New Jersey. We talk shit. We bust balls. And I'm like, yeah, I've hung out with East Coast people before. I get it. But everything I would say, I'd be like, yeah, I think we're gonna go get like a fucking croissant. And she's, oh, you're gonna get a croissant? Oh, are you gonna get a croissant? And I'm like, all right, I got it. And she's like, I'm busting balls. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not supposed to bust balls in literally every sentence I say.
I agree.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, am I busting your balls right now? And I'm like, all right, it's time to take a step back and, take your foot off the gas.
I think you need to chill.
Yeah. But then we made out.
Hey. But that's what it always reads to me as. You know what I mean? There's like a that energy, it feels a little desperate to me. I'm like, why aren't you just like saying what you actually think? Yeah. I'm like, you want to go get Chipotle? It's like, oh, because we're Chipotle people, huh? Yeah. We're just basic bitches. I'm like, no, it's like $8 and it's right there. Yeah. I'm like, let's just go to Chipotle.
Yeah. That does bother. You know what does bother me is when people sort of try to rag on you for being kind of like basic, or saying like, like I was with my buddy and Mr. Deeds was on TV. I'm like, dude, let's watch Mr. Deeds. And he's like, you have poor taste. Nice taste, dude. Like, you're going to watch Mr. Deeds? You're going to enjoy an Adam Sandler movie? I'm like, yeah. I also enjoy Disneyland. Do you have a problem with that? He's like, yeah. Yeah, I do. You're not sophisticated. And I'm like, can't I just enjoy these things were made to be enjoyed. Can I just enjoy it without your fucking, indie rock bullshit? It's people who define themselves by what they're not, but not by what they are. Yeah. And I always think that's kind of it's kind of not as cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And I've always taken a great deal of pleasure in enjoying the things that are kind of cheesy to enjoy. You should have the things that you like that don't fit in with what's like culturally good. Yeah. It's like if I like a Grand Slam at Denny's, I like a Grand Slam at Denny's. That's me with my CrossFit documentaries. I just watch them nonstop. They do something in my brain that feels right. Yeah. And I like that that's my weird little quirk. Yeah. Even Fast and the Furious. People try to rag on, they'll be like, you like Fast and the Furious? And I guess nowadays, people are more kind of like... It's almost Keanu Reeves itself. Yeah, it's a legit franchise. But, in college and high school, people would kind of rag on me a little bit for that. They'd be like, why do you like Fast and the Furious so much? And I'm like, why do you like fucking Manchester by the Sea so much? Well, now you've built a sizable fanhood. Yeah. Off of liking Fast and Furious, so yeah. I think you saw my voice there. I think you saw the forest through the trees. Thanks, dude. Thank you. Dude, so sorry, man. I went through a breakup. Yeah. Crazy. Sorry, man. It's all good. Dude, it was interesting. It's the first time I've been through a breakup where I was like, oh, the timing's just not right. Mm. Yeah, I think for a while you weren't really yourself. You're always kind of like you're a little bit more anxious than you usually are, and that can't be a good. I feel, and I don't know. I think it's if you're able to recognize that and sort of do what you think is necessary, I think that's the right move. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Totally. Yeah. You got to take care of yourself. Yeah, I think it's hard for me to say, because I tend to people please, so it's like if I'm if I'm not happy in like a certain relationship or something, I'm sort of like, well, I got to stay in it because I don't want to, upset them. But I think it's
hard.
It's best for both people to, and it's more sort of kind to them when you realize that it's not right.
It's hard to have someone you love mad at you, or to be mad at them, because I vacillate. There's moments where I'm like, oh, I made the wrong decision. And then there's moments where I'm like, no, I'm really pissed.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't know how it's all going to shake out.
Right.
But you just have to do what you think is best.
Yeah.
And just kind of not ruminate on the uncertainty of it all.
Yeah.
It's painful. Yeah.
It's tough. But you'll power through. I mean, you lift heavy, you feel heavy.
No choice but to bounce back.
You'll get back out there with huge deltoids, both, physically and emotionally, and you'll fucking dominate the scene.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, and then you'll find that soulmate, and you guys will, produce little JTs that'll, just their first word will be a Thoreau quote.
That'd be dope.
The first sentence.
I think I'm ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm ready to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm done just playing the field and trying to, see who's the hottest person I can hook up with and kind of just, I don't know, just doing what feels good. I think I'm ready to just be with one person and hunker down in that foxhole and get through life together.
Yeah.
But I think, you can't force that either. I kind of went into this relationship being like, because I had really hurt like two people over summer while dating. I ended one friendship because I kind of let it get into the sexual realm, and then didn't realize I was kind of like using my friend and not really looking out for her best interests emotionally, and then so we're no longer friends. And then I dated another girl at the end of summer who really fell for me, and I didn't reciprocate, and I should have just stopped it when I knew she was in more than I was. And then I just kind of kept going, and because I thought I was being nice by still going, but I was really just kind of hurting her. And then so I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to date someone. I'm going to be all in, and it's going to be my person, and we're going to get married and have kids. And then, I was like, oh, I'm kind of like, I'm trying to control these things too much. But now I kind of got humbled by all this. I think I'll be a better boyfriend in the future because of all that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like dating profiles where they're like, people are like, these are my love languages. This is what I'm looking for in a relationship, like trust, commitment, honest communication. I'd be like, oh God. I was like, why are you writing all that? But now I think about it, I'm like, well, it's a dating profile for romance. Like they're literally trying to give you like a blueprint for what's going to work for them as a couple. And I always thought that was kind of boring or putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, that's like honest representation. Like that's a person who is kind of done fucking around and being like, hey, I'm fun. Like they're more like, hey, no, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. Fuck all the other bullshit.
Yeah.
And it is kind of boring, but it's also kind of where I'm at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of boring. Does that make sense?
Totally.
But who knows? I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm like 33 and I just suck at dating. I'm just fucking terrible at it.
I think you suck at dating.
I'm kind of bad. I've never dated anyone for longer than like a year straight.
That's fine.
I know, but like all my friends are like getting married, having kids. They all have like the most solid relationships.
Compare and despair. You're a complicated guy. You need a complicated lady.
Yeah.
Maybe you need like a super simple lady.
The complicated thing sounds more exciting, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, it's just, everything's a learning experience, and you're just sort of figuring out what's right for you. And in due time, you'll find the right one. It's just, it's all sort of, I feel like it's all sort of, that's your path, and it's just leading towards the relationship that will be perfect for you. At least you didn't rush into one, get super serious, and now you're kind of in regret. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like get married in your early 20s, and now you're kind of, you didn't really figure out what was right for you, and now you're sort of in between a rock and a hard place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the CrossFitter Josh Bridges says the good thing about being, because he's like the oldest guy to compete in the CrossFit Games. He's like, the good thing about being old is you have the data.
Yeah.
You know when you can push, so I have a lot of data now on what works for me in a relationship and what kind of person I want to be with, and where my weaknesses are and where my strengths are.
Yeah.
I'm just you know what scares me is like when you're like you learned a lot. I'm like, can I just be done learning? Can I just be done learning lessons?
Yeah.
Like this last relationship taught me a ton. Like it might have been the most I've learned about my side of the street in my past relationships. Like there was moments where we were having a tough time where I wanted to call one of my exes and be like, hey, I really fucked up. I didn't, because just what's the point? It would have just been selfish on my part. But I was like, okay, I see now what that person was talking about back then, which was cool. But God, I think I'm good now. I got it. Thanks for all the lessons, God. But I'm 33. Yeah. I'd like to just get into the peaceful, chill stage of. Yeah. And then big ups, my brother got engaged.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Chris.
His beautiful, wonderful, soon-to-be wife, Becca Lyle. What up, guys? So pumped. And
Chris is the best.
He's the best. Yeah, we've been working together with him. He's the man. It makes my heart sing when I see you guys communicating and having a good time. It's like my brothers hanging out.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah, he is awesome.
He's such a good guy. Such a fun hang, easy hang too, and just a beast.
Yeah, when I knew we were gonna break up and I was just kind of suffering, I just went over to his place and I was like, bro, can you just hold me? And he got behind me and just rubbed my back and just held me for like a minute. It was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. That's great.
He's the best. But yeah, congratulations, Chris. So pumped for you, dude.
Do you know when they're gonna tie the knot?
Not sure yet. I don't know. I think they're thinking
next summer.
I think they're thinking late this year.
Oh, late 2021.
Yeah, depending on the state of the world. It's more about where we're going to do the bachelor party for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
Are you in charge of organizing that?
Yeah, and my brother wants to go to a mountain town, and he's like, we'll just do acid and play beer pong. Yeah. But my brother, it's going to be 30 guys.
Really?
He's got like the whole fantasy football crew from his high school friends, and then he's got all of his college buddies. And it both numbers about 15. Wow. And when we were teenagers and spoiled little princes, our family used to take us to the Bahamas, and we'd bring some friends to Atlantis. Yeah. And I'm like, Chris, we got to go back to Atlantis. We got to go full circle. And I asked all of his high school buddies over comms in Call of Duty. I was like, where do we need to go? They're like, we got to go back to the Bahamas. So I'm trying to talk my brother into that. Yeah. And you can't just have 30 dudes in a house for a weekend. We got to go out and burn some energy off. Yeah. But it's going to be intense.
30 dudes in a house. You got to get a big house.
And 30 dudes aren't going to do acid.
That would be hilarious. That would be a good experiment.
My brother's got a strong constitution. He can do acid and like hang out and be normal. Yeah. I don't know if all of his buddies are designed that way.
Yeah. I've always admired people like that who does your brother get hungover?
He does, but it doesn't seem to make him sad. Yeah. He's just like, oh, I feel like shit. I'm hungover. Yeah. But he's not like bumming the way you or me would.
What is that? How do you like? Is that just your chemical makeup? Or you just do you think he's?
I blame you for me.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. But like in that moment, I thought that. Yeah. Because I'd never used to have that, and then as you and me got closer, and you were like, I get the worst hangovers. I started to get them, and I was like, maybe it's some kind of osmosis. Yeah. No, I don't know what it is. I think we're just sensitive, right?
I think so. But he seems sensitive.
He is really sensitive. He's got a really tender heart. Yeah. I don't know, like him and Reggie and those guys, they just can kind of, and I used to be able to do it with them. They can just kind of power through. Yeah. I don't think they're as anxious as I am. Right. I have a lot more anxiety than those guys. Yeah. My brother doesn't have a ton of anxiety. Yeah.
I think for me it's sort of like, I always just feel like I have stuff to do. And then when I get hungover, it's like, well, now I can't do what I need to do. I guess maybe that's part of it.
Totally.
And I'll feel like now I can't do what I need to do, and I'm fucked.
But that isn't that. But you don't always have stuff to do.
Yeah, but that's
playing
just
devil's advocate.
That's just how I feel, though.
Me too. I mean, my mom will always say it's because I'm too hard on myself. She says like, because I give myself like a report card on every day.
Yeah.
But then she laughs and she's like, but you never cared about your actual report cards, which is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way where I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. Like I can't step up. I'm like, I'm just, fragile and all this shit. And then maybe we're just hard on ourselves.
Yeah, because I'm always just like...
It seems a little vain to think about it that way, though, but I think that's probably true.
Yeah, because I'm just sort of like... There's so many things I need to accomplish right now that I don't actually have to. Like, it's a Sunday, I can relax, but my mind's just like, relaxing's for pussies. You're a pussy. You feel like shit, and you suck.
And maybe it is just a chemical thing, though. Yeah. Maybe it's like the way that the alcohol interacts with your brain, it releases something that the opposite of dopamine or whatever it is, that manifests itself as you shaming yourself.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And I wish there was a way to amputate that or to sever that, but it just seems like that's just the way it is for some people. But I don't know, I got drunk. I've been getting drunk. It's so funny, like when the relationship wasn't going great, I found myself doing all these things that now that I'm out of it, I realized I didn't really want to do. Like, remember I told you, I was like, I think I need to go on like a 3-day silent retreat. Yeah. But what I really needed to do was just talk honestly with my girlfriend about our needs and whether those were possible or not. Yeah. And then I was going to get a dog. I don't think I need a dog. I don't think I want a dog. I was just going to get a dog because I was like, I just want someone that just unconditionally loves me.
Yeah, dude, you got to wake up early.
Everyone was talking me out of it. She was talking me out of it. She's like, babe, do you really want a dog for like 30 minutes? Yeah. Everyone I talked to was like, bro, maybe just like babysit one for like a day or two. Like everyone knew I'm not cut out for having a dog right now. Yeah. And I was like, but that, my like contrarian head, I was like, fuck that. Like that's just going to make me get a dog more and be a better dog dad. It's like, so you're going to get a dog out of spite to prove to your friends he can handle it?
Look, I fucking love him.
Look at him, he's happy.
I picked up his shit.
He's fine. I'm like miserable. Yeah. I'm like ghost pale and just sad.
Yeah. It's funny how many people got offended by us picking up dog shit too.
In that video?
Yeah, some people commented like, bro, what is this?
I mean,
it's literally, we're picking up dog shit. We're trying to inform you of what's good.
When we were editing the video, there was a moment where I was like, can we cut the part out where we actually pick up the shit? And we were like, so yeah, we made a video where we go up to strangers. We're like, hey, can we pick up your dog's shit? I think it's really funny. Yeah. But it wasn't, some people were like, this is a little lowbrow, I guess. But look, it's not going to be a Fellini flick each time. Yeah. But yeah, people touching the shit, it did gross me out. It's gross. Yeah. Touching dog poop is, but like, why am I going to get a fucking dog? I think picking up their shit is disgusting. It's fucking gross. Yeah. It's not. It's normal. I'm sorry, guys. Dogs are great. Shit is amazing. Shit is God, and I'm an angel.
It's like, come on, guys, let's do just one dog shitting video. Let's just feed that need.
There was a vulnerability in putting that video out. I don't know why, but I was like, this is brave. Maybe because I was like, this is bad. It's brave to put out bad stuff. Yeah. That was like in the Talking Funny. Do you remember that? Ricky Gervais, Louis C.K., Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld, they're all talking about comedy. And when I initially watched it, I was like, Jerry Seinfeld's the biggest douchebag I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And rewatching it now, I'm like, oh, he was the only one being like kind of right about a lot of these things.
And what specifically?
Well, I guess with that one, it was that Louis was using the N-word, and he was kind of like, had some like intellectual vanity about it, where he was like, oh yeah, I say the N-word. And then Jerry Seinfeld was like, I don't see the humor in it, nor do I seek it. Mm-hmm. And in retrospect, that was like a pretty smart thing to say. Yeah. Because I don't think some of those bits have aged tremendously well. At the time I thought they were hilarious. I still think there's a lot, he's a genius. I'm not disparaging Louis C.K. He's like probably, when I first got into comedy, the biggest influence on everybody. But there's a part in there where Ricky Gervais talks about how he does some hack jokes on during a set, but he cuts them out of the special. And he's like, because I'm worried about you guys. I don't think you guys will respect me if I leave it in the special. And then Seinfeld's like, I'll respect you more if you leave it in. Mm. And I think he's right about that too. It's like, no, just do your shit and put it out there, and don't worry so much about what your peers or audience are going to say. I mean, try and make good stuff, but just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Don't. If you're always worried, it's going to start to inhibit your output.
Totally.
You just got to like. So that's why we're going to do 25 more videos of picking up dog shit until we really perfect it.
Without gloves.
Until we find the perfect bull mastiff with the perfect giant shit. And then we'll know we've done it. We've reached comedy nirvana.
Well, and the good thing too is the people who watch it now, they know, you need a bag to pick up shit.
We didn't know.
Yeah. So, you don't need dishwashing gloves. You need a bag. No, but Jerry Seinfeld, he also made an interesting point about how he thinks, he'll keep jokes for like 10, 15 years, where like Chris Rock and stuff, they're like, or Louis, they'll try to put out a new special every 2 years. Which is interesting. And he has no shame about, giving his audience the same jokes that he's that they've seen before. Which is like, I guess if you were to see Jerry Seinfeld, would you want to see him do new material, or would you want to see sort of the classics?
I think I'd want to see new material.
Right. Yeah, because it's not the same as like a rock song.
No, you want to hear the hits.
Yeah.
They debate that too, yeah, in that thing, in the Talking Funny special. I think I used to like watching people do the same jokes just to see how they were changing them up and like crafting them. Mm-hmm. Mark Norman was one of my favorite comics, and when he'd come through LA, I'd go to multiple of his sets. But I think that was more, maybe I'm wrong, maybe anyone would appreciate it the same way I did, but I think that was also because I was trying to get better at stand-up, so I was kind of studying him from more of like a student perspective. Mm-hmm. Where I was like, oh, okay, he's doing that now. Okay, he changed this. Okay, it was like more I was trying to figure out how to game writing a joke the way he did. Mm-hmm. And that's why I kind of liked hearing him do the same jokes over and over again. But overall, I think if I was just going just purely for entertainment, I'd want to hear different stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess when I watch like Theo Von do some bits, it's or Sebastian, it is really interesting to see how they switch it up in the moment with the performance. But I guess with comics, it's always, I think what's impressive about comics is their ability to continuously come up with more material. And that's sort of like in the job description, like you're always creating new stuff. You're always coming out with new stuff.
You have to.
And that's, I think, I don't think it's the same as a rock song. I think it's like you need to show that you're still making funny observations. Like your mind's always processing what's happening comedically.
And my favorite comedians are the ones who, when something big happens in like the culture, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hear what this person has to say about it.
Yeah.
Like Pedro Salinas, he's like a New York comic. When we were doing open mics together, when something would happen, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to go to an open mic and hear what Pedro has to say about this. Like, right. I know he's going to have a great take.
Yeah.
And he always did.
Yeah.
Always, and he probably still does. I just haven't seen him. He's in New York, so I haven't watched him in a while. What's up, Pedro? Great guy. Dude, yeah. So, guys, full transparency in an effort to boost listenership and to be able to put interesting subject matter in the title. We're going to cover some topical events that have been making the rounds in the media.
Yeah, Chad and JT react to what's going on.
Yeah, so we're
today.
We're going to give some hot takes on stuff that's happened that's kind of in the zeitgeist. So, Chad, Burger King got in trouble because they put out I don't even know if it was an ad, but they have some
tweet,
and they have some new initiative where they're going to put women at the head of the kitchen, and so they said women do belong in the kitchen, but they were trying to be like, I don't even know how to describe it, ironic, or they were trying to synthesize different ideas where they were saying like, oh, you're not supposed to say women belong in the kitchen because typically that was a way to reduce what a woman was able to do by saying that's the only place they belong, basically, is cooking for their man who is the breadwinner. But they meant it because there's not enough women who are head chefs and they were about to change that. So they were like, oh, no. But like, don't think of it the way you normally think about it. Think about it in this new way where it's actually empowering. And people were like, it's not empowering. You fucked up, Burger King.
Yeah. I would say I get what they're going for, you know, but I don't really look to Burger King for their comedy. And
or for their food. I haven't been to a Burger King in 20 years.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, they're you know, it's like I think they should work less on their marketing and more on their fries, because they're dog shit.
They got bad fries.
Yeah.
See, I don't really eat that much fast food. I only really eat In-N-Out or like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And if I am gonna eat like the other fast food restaurants, I'll probably go to a Taco Bell or a McDonald's before a Burger King. So I haven't been to one in honestly like 20 years.
Yeah.
So this is all I know about Burger King right now, and I just honestly don't even give any fucks.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal one way or the other.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
I mean, I think they're trying to, you know, like Wendy's will like clap back at people and stuff, and for some reason, fast food restaurants nowadays are trying to be, you know, a little more like risque.
Everyone's got to have
spicy.
a personality.
Yeah, they have a personality, you know, and it's like they just fucking. I think Burger King just showed through their tweet how inferior they are in both their the comedic stylings and their food, because it's like, I don't know.
They need to hire the Slim Jim guy. Have you noticed like the Slim Jim account?
Slim Jim's, yeah,
comments
they're
on everything.
Yeah,
and they do it from this perspective of like an honest kind of like. I don't know, they're like, you know, it'll be like puberty account and they'll be like, if she hasn't called you back, it's because she's, you know, too busy getting called over to another guy's place. And then the Slim Jim guy's like, I'm still waiting for her.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. Like Slim Jim's got like a heartbroken kind of honesty.
Yeah.
But then I guess I am kind of curious who the Slim Jim person is that's writing all that stuff.
I always do want to know. Yeah.
Like what's the face of it? Because you just kind of picture a Slim Jim writing that.
Yeah. Well, I think what Burger King forgot to do too is they forgot to write like a good punchline, because they're like, oh, we'll just put out this tweet, and that now they have to explain the joke, and they're like, women belong in the kitchen. And they should have said like, because we want like more whatever, but then they're like, like, glad we got your attention. This is our new initiative. 20% of women, and you're like, what are you guys talking about? Like, what are you going for right now? It was just. I don't know. They need to do some more open mics.
And now Will Forte's in a new show. I guess it's a drama on Peacock about a guy who's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
And you said that a lot of suicide groups are upset now at the show because...
it glorifies... So apparently the show is like a year... This guy... I don't know the full details, but I think the general gist is that he's planning his suicide for a year. So a bunch of suicide groups are pissed because they think that the show is glorifying suicide and they want to cancel the show.
It's not the show's fault. Suicide's going up, right? People are sadder and sadder.
Yeah. Especially with the pandemic.
Yeah. And, you know, we're just like, I don't know. I do think all the media stuff that we have to absorb, you know, how we're kind of stuck just getting our brains rocked with images of other people and life stories of other people and just so much stuff. It's just making us sadder, but I like Will Forte. I'm sure the show's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Will Forte, and it's interesting that they'll like want to cancel TV shows because they're like this will make people want to commit suicide even more, but there are no restrictions on the news. You know, they're not saying like, hey, I think all this sort of bad news that you're putting out there is really hurting people in ways that they don't even really realize.
It's true.
There's no there, you know, or even like you watch like the Britney Spears documentary and seeing just how there's no laws about the paparazzi. Like, are there any laws about paparazzi and like that whole thing? Like, if
I mean, we know you're just allowed to film people.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And I don't know. I just think people are putting their energy in the wrong place.
Aaron, what do you think?
Sorry, I lost where we're at.
Come on, dog.
No, I was.
No, I'm fine with
I mean, I wanted to jump in and say that Burger King is good.
Burger King is good?
I think it's good.
Aaron, we will always
dude,
beef.
your credibility is just out the window now with your Five Guys take.
There's one.
We will always beef on fast food,
There's
Aaron.
one right around the corner from here. It's the fastest thing I can get when I have no time to
There's
get
an
food.
In-N-Out 8 blocks up the road.
You cannot get through that line in the time. I need.
You gotta
like
go inside.
5 minutes.
What do you get? The chicken sandwich?
No, I get like the
Whopper?
No, like the Bacon King.
Oh.
They have it on sourdough now. It's really good.
Whoa, really?
Yeah,
They give you a giant fucking burger. Like the ones that you see in the commercials are legit. Like that's what you get. It's nice.
What do you think about, so Will Forte is doing a show about suicide, and suicide groups are upset because they're saying it glorifies suicide.
Well, I'd have to see the show. I feel like
That's a good take.
But and I love Will Forte. I think he's a thoughtful guy. I don't think he's just some jackass. I mean, there's a lot of that in Last Man on Earth too, being alone and all that stuff, and so I think he'll do a good job with it. I don't think. Plus, can you get a show canceled that's on Peacock?
Isn't it already canceled?
Yeah.
No one's going to see it. Also, it's like art makes people feel less alone. You know, if you see someone's feeling the way you're feeling, it makes you less sad.
Yeah.
If you read a book from especially if it's like an old thing, you read a book from 400 years ago and some guy's articulating exactly how you feel less alone in the world. And that's always I think that's always on balance going to keep more people going than it's going to do the opposite and push people closer to their end. It's heartening. Also, do you think if we made suicide illegal, like if you had to go to jail for trying to commit suicide, do you think less people would do it?
I don't know. I mean, the cool kids would start trying to do it for sure.
Oh, to be badass.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to go to jail.
Yeah. Dude, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would make people, really make sure they did the deed.
Or they think really seriously about doing it.
Yeah. That's a good point. Has that ever been introduced?
I'm sure in some countries it is.
Yeah.
There's those countries
in
where
religion they say you're going to go to hell.
I just think everyone would feel so bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, you survived. Yeah, the rope broke the chandelier and you dropped to the ground. You didn't die. Bad news, though. You got to do 3 years in the slammer now.
Yeah, the rope fell and I realized I really love life and I just want to stay alive. Cool. You're gonna go to county.
Yeah, have fun at Long Poke.
So what are you in for, man?
Attempted murder of who? Myself. Oh damn, dude, bring it in.
Yeah.
It's a tough beat. That's like they say if you kill, if you're a molester, you're the lowest rung of prison. Mm-hmm. Everyone will just fuck you up because it's kind of like a hierarchy based off what crime you committed. If you kill a cop, you're top dog in prison.
Yeah.
So I wonder if a cop tried to kill himself and then had to go to jail for it, would he reverse get a lot of respect for almost killing a cop?
I'd give him respect.
Everybody this fucking kingpin of the jail.
Yeah.
Last current event that we're covering, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry. Full disclosure, I have not watched the full interview. I have no idea where to find it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where to find it either.
I just type it into YouTube and I watch the same 3 clips.
Mm-hmm.
Where
it's on Peacock.
Is it really?
No.
My favorite thing is when Oprah goes, and then Meghan Markle, in her quiet, I have to be honest about this stuff, but it's really painful voice. It was she's and then I was silent, and she's like, "Were you silent, or were you silenced?" Mm-hmm. And then she's like, "The latter." Everyone's like, "Ooh, ooh." Dude, I didn't know so many things about the monarchy. Dan, our friend who's from England, he told that some of the taxpayer money when you're English person goes towards royalty. That's like what keeps them living. Even though they're the largest landowners in England. Like they own like all of London. They own like the earth.
They're the largest, one of the largest landowners on the planet. Yeah.
It's insane. It's so crazy. What's your take on the Markle situation?
Honestly, I'm just sad that the royal family's not stoked. They're not stoked by the interview. Just that Harry and William aren't bonding. You know, I
do feel bad for Harry. He seems to have very little agency. Besides when he joined the military, everything else seems like he's just kind of like getting dragged in directions by forces, by other people.
Well, I like the idea of a royal family. I think it's cool. You know,
like you feel like a prince.
Yeah, I watched the royal wedding and I'm like, this is fucking cool. Like these are real life princes. There's a real queen. And I don't like knowing that, you know, there's tension within the family. There's, you know, like Meghan talked about, you know, there's some potentially like you know, someone's made some like racist kind of comments and stuff, and I don't I just wish that they were all, you know, one big happy family and everything was hunky-dory. I guess that's sort of what that made me sad about it. And I don't, you know, I don't know how much of a take I have on Meghan Markle, and
I feel bad for her. She does seem like she's genuinely suffering.
Yeah.
But a part of me is like, you don't accidentally become a princess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to want that.
Yeah.
And then I think, and maybe she did say this in the interview, I haven't watched it, but I haven't seen any clips of it, is like, I wish she could have been like, and yes, she acts like she hated all of it. She's like, I never wanted to be a princess. I never wanted to be a part of that whole scene.
Yeah.
It all made me uncomfortable. I'm like, that's just not how it works. Like, part of it you wanted, part of it you loved.
Yeah.
And if she could acknowledge that and be like, no, I did love some of the attention. I did love having a public spectacle and being with a prince and the idea of being royalty. I did like that, but it was also had a lot of downsides.
Yeah.
If there would have just been a little bit of that like self-awareness, I think I would have been more simply empathetic to her rather than being like kind of conflicted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I just like, I don't know. She's like, I hate the limelight. I'm like, but you're like you were an actress and then you became a princess. Like you kind of picked the two careers where you have the most limelight possible.
Yeah. I mean,
it sucks if your, you know, in-laws are racist and shit, and like it sucks if they're kind of like, you know, boxing you in, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like,
yeah, if she were to come out and say like, if I were in the situation and I was feeling the way she felt, I'd be like, yeah, I want to be a prince because it seemed fucking cool. But then I got to the castle and I'm like, this blows. I think that'd be an interesting.
That'd be very endearing.
Oprah. Yeah, this blows. I can't do ice baths.
And if she was like, look, one of the uncles was like racist and he'd make racist comments to me, it made me super uncomfortable and no one was checking him.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was all like, and then this horrible thing happened to me, and then this horrible thing happened to me, and then this horrible thing happened to me. And I was like, why is it all so one thing? Why is it all just like you getting the shit kicked out of you? Like, I don't know. There wasn't, and then Harry was just kind of like an accessory.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. I just, like, everybody can be sad. You know, rock stars kill themselves and stuff. So I'm not saying that her sadness isn't genuine, but I just think there's like a lack of awareness there.
Well, yeah, and also to do it during a pandemic where people are losing their jobs and you know, losing their livelihoods, and to come out with an interview like, feel sorry for me, the princess and prince. Yeah. And people are like, dude, I've been unemployed for a year. What you know? I think it's poor timing. Yeah. You know, I think a little bit more about the people that are actually, you know. But you know,
there's a self-importance in it too. Like she kind of does feel like there, you do get the sense from her that like, I'm like the most important person in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
because it's like I think she mentions in the thing like, life is about storytelling, and like, life is like a fairy, but it didn't turn out to be that. And you're like, that's kind of a naive way to think about things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm quoting that from someone who watched it. So maybe I don't know. This is all like just 3 minutes of footage that I watched.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I guess, yeah, when I saw the clips, because I can't find it either. When I saw the clips, I think I was like, man.
It is on Paramount Plus, by the way.
Oh, it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I was just like, man,
What the fuck is Paramount Plus?
If
It used to be CBS All Access.
This is probably a good time to say that Hulu passed on our animated thing too, so that's not getting made at Hulu. Which is also why I finally called out Disney for the Gina Carano shit last week. Had to wait to not be in business with Hulu before I took them to task. No hard feelings to Hulu. Or Dan Harmon, who came out with an animated Greek mythology show 1 week before we submitted ours. Shit happens.
yeah.
I'm going to do an interview about it on Oprah and talk about how fucking sad it is. And then I realized that Hulu wasn't going to pick up my show, which was really hard because I worked really hard on it and I never wanted to be famous or, have people recognize my talents. But I just got put in a position where that might happen. And now that it's not happening, Dan Harmon's the devil. Does that track? Was there parallels there?
Totally.
I mean, come on. It's like, don't cry for me, Argentina. Evita? Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Madonna. All right, dude, should we do an ad? I'll go get some more coffee and then we'll answer some questions.
Yeah. So guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean, because it's spring break in your pants. I'm talking to you. Your dong likes to go to Cabo. Your dong likes to go to Panama Beach or whatever it's called, because your dong likes to party, but your dong needs to party safe. And so when you trim your pubes, you want to use the Lawnmower 3.0 because it has skin safe, advanced ceramic blade technology that doesn't nick or cut your dongle and makes it look fresh and clean, because the Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the Essential Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. It's the best trimmer on the market for those of you in the need of a chest or ball shave. Guys, I mean, it's the best. It has a light on it. You can see your pubes clearly. Keep it safe. And you can also adjust the settings to get the length you like. Like what do you want? AstroTurf? Do you want completely bald? Do you want like some nice scruff? How do you like your pubes? You tell me. And be sure to use their crop cleanser too. The body wash to keep your hair and skin feeling healthy and fresh. You'll also find the ball deodorant. Ooh. Ball toner. Ooh. Spray on testy toner. Ooh. For limited time, subscribers get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, $39 value add, and the patented high performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GoDeep20 manscaped.com. That is GoDeep20 at manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping. Say aloha to your new balls, your new beautiful balls with Manscaped. I gotta pee.
Okay, sweet. Oh, man. Guys, so we just had breaking news happen while we were going to the bathroom. Aaron confessed to me off mic that, and he I'm not trying to call you out, Aaron, but you should have said this earlier. He's friends with a guy who owns a Burger King, so he was sort of incentivized to, walk the party line and defend Burger King. Is your friend paying you for these takes, Aaron? And has he been paying you the whole time to disparage In-N-Out?
No, certainly not. No, certainly not. He has plied me with free food at times, but I'm not currently on the payroll I do think it is. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he better pay you more for that endorsement.
Yeah.
You're holding out for more Whoppers, huh?
How many guys do you know that own Five Guys? 5?
None. I don't know any.
We believe you.
Yeah, all right, Aaron. I didn't know you were in the fast food game.
That checks out. Let me see your teeth
By the way,
real quick. No, I thought you had lipstick on it.
By the way, the Burger King around the corner is in Back to the Future. I'm just saying.
Oh, nice. Good movie.
Yeah.
Dude, read Pauline Kael's review of it. It's so interesting. She's like just way too smart to enjoy the movie. She's like a refabricated Americana commercial enterprise that erodes the notion of new art. You're like, what? What movie you watching, lady? I'm like, you need to be 5 years old and watch Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Oh, is that she's talking about Back to the Future?
Mm-hmm. She's like the smartest film critic ever. She was reviewing McCabe and Miss Miller. It's pretty. I've referenced it here before, I think, on the Noah Miller episode. But she's like, it shows that even in the 1860s, Americans wore headphones. Like talking about the isolation that the characters feel. I was like, wow, that's like a brilliant way to describe it. I was like, you were smart. Like, I guess she would rip everybody to shreds, and then Warren Beatty, who's in McCabe and Miss Miller, because he just like the book that someone wrote about him, I think Peter Biskin, is called How Warren Beatty Seduced America. He was like, he would just hang out with Pauline Kael all the time and just dazzle her with his charm, and then so she always gave him positive reviews. And then he started a production company and actually gave her a job developing movies, and I guess she sucked at it. And some people think he like genuinely did that just to humble her and show her how hard it is to make movies.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, isn't that sort of a mind wasted to just be a critic?
I don't think so, because I think some people can elevate it to an art form.
Right.
Like, I think they can actually write so well about film that it becomes not as valuable as the film. You know, like that's kind of the critique against critics in Ratatouille, right? That the harsh truth us critics must realize is that even the worst piece of crap is more important than the critic who deems it so.
Right.
They didn't say crap in that movie, but that was the gist of it. But no, I think like Roger Ebert, I learned a lot about life from him.
Right.
So I think, and from Pauline Kael, I think if they're really good film critics, they can. And then even like the French film critics, like all the big directors that came out of the French New Wave, like I think Bazin was the first, and then like Truffaut and Godard, they were critics first, and then they put it into action and made some movies. Yeah, I love critics. So, or Wesley Morris, dude, he was going to be one of my things, but he was just on Bill Simmons. He had the best. He's so smart, and he had the best kind of like. He called One Night in Miami, that movie with all like the, how would you describe them? I don't know, like kind of black heroes of like the 60s. It's like Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and Jim Brown. He was like, it's like an Avengers movie. And that is what it feels like. Yeah. It's just like overstuffed. I don't know, sometimes they can give you a framework to think about. But maybe that's just me because I'm obsessed with movies, even though they all suck now. I mean, the Oscars, you're just like, no one has seen any of these. These are like plays. Yeah. Movies are like jazz music now. It's like only for cinephiles. I was really being pedantic there for a sec. All right, should we get into some cues?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Ooh, this is a good one. Hey there, Chad, trap advice. Hey there, Gabe here. Heard you've been having some trap issues. I've had the same chronic issue and just wanted to share some things that help. CBD roll-on. I really like this one made by Omax. Vibration gun. A lot of options, but I have a hypervolt. He even sent links. Deep tissue medical sports massages. I go to Sports Fit in Santa Monica and Marina Del Rey.
Oh, he's an LA guy?
He's an LA dude.
Sports Fit?
Mm-hmm.
I'll check that out. Yeah, I've always been kind of, I think it's a chronic, or no, it's a, I don't think, I think the trap lockup is a symptom of my spine, a disc in my spine getting irritated, which might be because my spine is curved a little bit, which is just like, I don't know, I've always been sort of anti-massage, all that shit, because you know why? Because it's boring. Stretching is boring. Getting a massage is boring. I like being like active, which is tough because when you're incapacitated like that, you can't do like sprints or something like that. But so I'm trying to learn how to get more into that shit, and maybe a deep tissue massage is what I need. But I don't know. Even like, you know, doing a yoga class, I'm like, oh, it's so much time, and there's something about it that just always turned me off. But I think I need to look more into sort of looking after my back and maybe getting some deep tissue, maybe some stretches. I've been stretching. I've been doing the 5 Tibetan rites every morning, which are legit. Some nice 5 yoga poses. Open up the chakras and let people know that you are feeling good.
Let's go. Anonymous. Hi, Chad and JT. Please keep me anon. Thanks for raising the stoke of so many guys and gals out there. I'm a lady stoker, by the way. A couple months ago, I met this guy. We never hung out one-on-one, but he would always DM me and reply to every story I posted and ask me how my day was, etc. I would reply because I found him attractive, but I never acted on it. I was kind of waiting for him to make a move beyond the DMs. Fast forward a month later, and I met this girl, and we started becoming friends. One day, she brings up her boyfriend, and I ask her who her boyfriend is, and turns out it's the guy in my DMs. Immediately, I stopped replying to him and talking to him at all, but I didn't tell the girl that her BF was in my DMs because we had just met and nothing had actually happened between me and the dude. I would never mess with a guy in a relay. She eventually stopped DMing me. Fast forward again 6 months, and me and this girl are now best friends. She is still with the guy, and she says she's going to marry him one day. I never said anything to her about it, but I feel guilty and feel weird around him when we hang out. She also tells me that her BF doesn't like when her and I hang out, doesn't like the friendship that I have with... Yeah. I wonder why he feels that way. How do I navigate this situation? Do I tell my friend the whole story from start to finish, or would that do more harm than good? I really value our friendship, and how do I act around him? Thanks for the words of wisdom. Stay stoked, Lady Stoker. Man, that's a tough one.
I don't like that you're hanging out with them. I don't like this friendship. It's a little bit controlling.
Well, he doesn't like her because he knows he used to be trying to fuck her.
No, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you gotta... Here's the thing. What would you want her to tell you? Yeah, I think so, right? I always feel bad when people live on a lie. It kind of breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would tell her. And you know what? I would do it sooner rather than later because it's only going to get harder.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? She might get pissed at you. She might. But I think that's on her. It might burn the friendship, but again, your friendship will be built on a lie. And I don't know. It could come out anyways. I doubt you're the only person this guy's DMing. You know, he's. I don't think people really keep it that. People who do that are typically doing that a lot. So you might get lucky. It might pop before you say anything, but I would say something. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I would let her know. I really have nothing more to add.
Hey, Stokers, thank you for the joy you bring to me. Sometimes your podcast is the best thing of the day. If the relationship guru could answer, that would be dope. My girlfriend has decided to go on a break with me after 5 years of dating. How should I give her the space she needs until she decides what we are, and how would you remain optimistic? I have felt really sad recently. I do love her and hope it works out. I've been crushing the gym and spending time working from home, albeit lonely. I'm also going to start therapy next week. Can you let me know if you answer this so I can tune in? Thanks. I mean, you're already doing it, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't dwell on it. I would keep doing what you're doing, improving yourself, working on your own life, keep moving forward in your own direction. I would say I don't think it's ever a good thing to sort of wait on people and wait on how you think they'll feel about things, because, you know, then you're just sort of waiting for them to make their decision, when it's like, this is your life, and you got to take control of your own stoke, you know. And if you're feeling sad, you know, you got to get back out there and boost your stoke, because the true stoke only comes from you. It can't come from her. So I think you're just doing the right thing, you know, getting out in the gym, working on your life, progressing in your career, doing the thing, and yeah, man, get back out there.
Yeah, I don't think you can. If you're trying to do everything you can do to make yourself more appealing to her, you're just going to be suffering the whole time, because then she's more important to you than you are to yourself. You gotta really think hard about what you want, independent of her. And that doesn't mean sleeping with other people. I mean, outside of like the romantic range, you know what I mean? Like, try and make the romantic part of your life a little bit smaller right now, and make the other parts of your life bigger. And I think, like Chad's saying, that's the route to happiness. It's very hard. It's very, very hard, but you can do it. And you're already doing, dude, going to the gym, going to therapy, that's great stuff, man. You're already doing it. Writing into podcasts. That's nice. Doing good stuff. Hey dudes, I got out of a long-term 5-year relationship at the end of 2019 after finding out she was cheating on me. Shortly after, I met a girl while visiting the Midwest. It felt amazing. She was a babe, amazing personality. We shared similar hobbies and the chemistry was gnarly. I went back home a week later and we kept talking. For the next 2 months, she came out to visit me 3 times and I really started falling for her. Unfortunately, the long distance was getting really hard, especially when COVID started and things fell apart. Over the next 8 months, I spent time kicking it with the boys and seeing other girls, but kept comparing every girl I met to this Midwest girl. No one compared. A few months ago, we reconnected after she was coming through my city on a camping trip. We started talking again, and she came out again a few times to visit me. I had been working from home for almost a year now, and I decided I'd ask her if she thinks it would be a good idea for me to move to her city while I was working from home to give us a proper chance. She agreed. It took me a really long time to trust someone again after my ex, and this girl, now girlfriend, gave me no reason to think we were not good for each other, so I decided I was ready to take the leap of faith. Anyways, she set up my place in the Midwest, flew to my city to help me pack, and we drove back together. She had always told me she loved us, and we talked about these dreams of what we were going to do together. She even told me that she'd move back with me to my city and had all these promises that I had no reason not to believe. It honestly felt perfect, and I felt happy for the first time in a really long time. Things were amazing until one day, out of nowhere, she stopped talking to me. No warning, nothing. I didn't exist. Damn. I thought she might have needed some space or was going through something, so I gave her that space. I asked her if it had anything to do with us, and she said no, and she just needed time to hermit. I found out later from her that during that week, she went to a party and did a bunch of drugs and was literally spending the whole week hanging out with other people. A week went by and I came over to my place and broke things off with me. No explanation. I still to this day have no idea what happened and feel really betrayed and hurt. How do I recover from this? It took me a year to trust someone again, and I really fell in love with this girl and did not anticipate this as a possibility, especially like this. I'm moving back to the PNW in a few weeks, and I'm going to try and focus on keeping positive and staying healthy, but things feel dark. Thanks for the pod, boys. I love tuning to it while I'm at work. Been a fan of yours for years.
Oh. Man, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's really brutal. But you know what, dude? I mean, this is your journey to something greater. And I truly believe that. I think that you're going through some tough times right now, but, you know, that's sort of life. You just go through, you know, a lot of life is just sort of riddled with failure, and then you have that one big success. And, you know, I'm sure you're hurting right now hard. But I would just keep faith that the dynamite epic relationship that you've been searching for and yearning for will materialize in due time. So I would just, you know, process the pain, power through the pain, maybe put into some squats. You know, you're in the Pacific Northwest, maybe put into some kayaking.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
And keep working on yourself, keep being the best dude you can be. You know, watch uplifting stuff. I would say watch optimistic stuff, you know, watch stuff that makes you feel charged up on life again, because you should be charged up on life. You know, now you know that you don't want to be with that girl, you'll move on to the next one and you'll find the one that's perfect for you and that will, you know, love and respect you the way you deserve. So, you know, I would say stay positive, keep pushing forward, and you'll get there.
I totally agree with Chad, man. I wouldn't change a thing, man. I think, you know, you're leading with your heart. You're available to love and to be loved. But, you know, love is a contact sport. You're giving someone else permission to fuck you up. And that's really, really hard. But you found the strength to do it again. And you know you're strong. You'll do it again. And then one of these days it's going to fit. And you'll find the person who values you. So just be sad for a while. And then, you know, but don't be sad all the time. Try and stay busy, work out, focus on your career, you know, turn to family and friends. I find that when you go through like heartbreak or when you go through hardship, it's like that Marianne Williamson quote, like when people are on their knees, they're at their most like empathetic and compassionate. I think that's true. I think you'll really discover what a good person you are just through the way you deal with other people through this hurt. And I think there's a lot of beauty in that. So just try and like Chad said, you know, put some happy stuff in your brain and keep yourself light when you're going through all this, and then you'll come out the other end, and 20 years from now you'll look back and you'll smile at all this stuff. That's the other thing, is like when my 12 or 13, when I was 12 or 13 and my super smoking hot GF almost left me for some like 6'5" basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
I was busted up, dude. And sometimes I think back to that and it still hurts. Like the trauma is real. But at the same time, I was 12, bro. And now when I look back on whatever has happened to me in my like 20s or like 30s, I mean, one day we're going to look back at this and it's all just going to seem like it was part of the journey. Mm-hmm. So you just got to kind of remember that like time heals all wounds and that you'll get through this. And also, dude, like that girl was kind of an asshole. Like I need space for myself. And that space includes just getting fucked up on drugs and hanging out with other people. Like, she wasn't prioritizing you the way you prioritized her. And I think she probably used you a little bit for, sorry to be harsh, but used you a little bit to like feel loved. And when that wasn't enough for her, she kind of mistreated you. So, I don't know. I think you're better off, man. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, I look back on my sort of romantic life, especially, you know, through like, when did I start really, like 7th to 7th grade to college. And it's like, if I had just been like a ladies' man throughout that entire time, like what kind of guy would I have become? You know, just fucking nothing but net my entire high school and college years. Like what? That's, you know, that doesn't really. You got to go through the hurt sometimes to really discover who you really are.
I think also everyone this quarantine has just like. We always get a lot of romantic questions, but we're getting more, and a lot of it's like, "Hey, I thought this person was the one, and then it didn't work out." It's like, well, because I think especially during COVID, we're all looking for the one. Right. We're looking for that person who's gonna just be in that foxhole with us, and then, you know. Maybe we're kind of pushing too fast in these things. I mean, like moving for this girl was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like you probably rushed that a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I could see, you know, it wasn't fair on her part to like pick out your place and to be like, hey, I'm all in with you. And then for her to be like, actually, I'm not. Because it was probably just, you know, it was something to do for both of you. Yeah, so thank her for that. Be like, hey, but thanks for helping me find a dope place. I learned a lot about home decorum.
Yeah. The road trip was sick too.
And we had a good time on the road trip. Thanks for showing me that new band. They're good. I'll never be able to listen to them again, but it was fun while we did.
I never thought I'd actually see Wyoming until that road trip.
Exactly. Bison are huge. Quarrel among bros. Hey, Chad and JT, I come to you with a burdensome situation. My roommate and I have poker night with the boys every weekend, and usually 6 to 10 our bros come through to hang depending on the week. Although times are almost legendary, beef has arisen within the squad. A mutual bro of ours, Sonny, has developed a habit of borrowing money from some of the boys and has been reluctant to pay them back. This has gone on for a couple months now, and Sonny owes 3 of our friends almost $1,000. 2 of the bros don't mind as much, but one in particular, Davis, has been considering legal action. The 2 have been avoiding each other and has put a major damper on the overall vibe that comes when we play cards. To make the situation worse, Sonny is really fun to be around, and my roommate prefers his company over others despite his shady behavior. Longtime fan, hopefully you bros can provide some light in this tunnel of darkness. Much appreciated, Jake.
Dude, I feel for you, man. I know the exact kind of guy you're talking about who's just like so much fun, but just like he has scumbag characteristics. Tendencies, and you're just like, fuck, man. Why do you have to be that way? Can you just be like the fun guy you are and not put me in this, you know, awkward position where you got to pay money back to people. But I mean, you know, this guy sounds like a charmer, and but also kind of a, you know, a bit of a con artist a little bit. I don't know if I want to go that far, but you know, moving towards that. So I think he's got to pay your friends back. You can't just do that and get away with it because he's charming. So, yeah. I don't know. Is that what he's asking? What should we do?
I mean, I think you nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, he's probably, look, it's not your job to get these dudes paid back. It's the parable of the scorpion, you know? the frog's like, I'm not giving you a lift across the pond. And then the scorpion's like, I won't sting you. We'll both die. And then they start going, and the scorpion stings him. He's like, what are you doing? We're both going to die. He's like, oh, it's my nature. It's like this sunny guy, it's just in his nature to be unethical in his relationships and in his kind of obligations to people. So if you keep having Sunny back, more of this shit's going to happen, not less. People like him don't learn lessons from tolerance. They might not even learn their lessons, period. It might be so deep into his nature. But being optimistic, he might learn. But that's only going to come from you guys setting boundaries with this dude. You gotta just cut him out. You got to tell your friend, like, hey, I know he's a good time. You can go hang out with him on your own time, but he's toxic to the group. So he can't come to poker night anymore. At least not until he makes things right with these other guys financially. I mean, $1,000
Yeah.
Does he owe that? Even in aggregate, that's like $300 a dude. That's like substantial. But if he owes $1,000 per dude, I mean, we're getting into like serious, like people aren't going to make rent. Like you got to fucking get rid of this dude.
Yeah, and that behavior is only going to continue, and you never know. So he could get you into a position where you're truly fucked, and because he's just that kind of guy. Like I remember my mom. I had a friend growing up, and he was so much fun to be around, hilarious. But my mom always knew he was a scumbag.
I had a friend like that too.
Yeah, she's like, don't hang out with him. He's a liar. He's a scumbag. My dad's like, yeah, he's gonna end up in jail. And I would hang out with him, but then as I grew older, I would distance myself, and you know, they were right. And as much fun as I had hanging out with him, I'm glad I didn't continue, because he just would have gotten me into situations where that I did not want to be in. And then I'd be like, oh, was it really worth it? Just because he's like kind of like had like a good sense of humor. So I think you just gotta, if you recognize that in someone, you gotta understand what they could, what kind of a person they are.
Yeah, I had a couple friends like that. One guy was just like, it was almost exhilarating how little he cared about other people.
Yeah.
So when he went out with them at night, you knew you were going to have a good time because he was just going to pursue pleasure above all things, and it kind of gave me a vicarious rush to be around that.
Yeah.
All right, should we get into the next section?
Yeah.
Chad, who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with ATF Agent Stahl and Sons of Anarchy. You know what? Look, Agent Stahl, like I've been crushing Sons of Anarchy, and Agent Stahl, she's trying to nail the Sons. She's trying to get, she's trying to do her job and be an ATF agent, but she's going about the wrong way. Her ethics are skewed. She's spreading lies, and she's causing havoc within the club. And she's, hurting people. And people are losing their lives because of her. And it's like, is getting that arrest really worth it, Agent Stahl? Is it really worth destroying these lives? Like, to what lengths should you actually go to get your arrest? So I think you need to think about that and think about your behavior and the ethics of what you're doing, because you're hurting charming California and you're hurting the Sons of Anarchy. And I don't like to see it. So why don't you take a good long look in the mirror, Agent Stahl, and go fuck yourself.
It's an interesting, the name of the gang is the Sons of Anarchy?
The club, yeah.
It's an interesting name. Oh, sorry, yeah, right, club.
Yeah.
It's an interesting name for a club.
Yeah.
Like, if you really think about it, like, what does it mean to be the son of anarchy?
That's a good question.
Are you an anarchist then too, or do you become something else if you're like second generation?
Right. Maybe they're sort of like, I was born into this. I was born into anarchy. I didn't really have a choice, but this is the life I have.
And through it maybe comes order.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the next evolution of it.
Yeah.
Until it cycles back to anarchy.
Can you, wouldn't that be so interesting to be born into that life?
It is interesting. I think it'll always be a part of you, but I don't think you're destined to be in it, Like, if you have like criminal parents, I think you'll always have a little bit of that element to you.
Right.
And there's power in that. It's like kind of like the Jungian lion or bull. You got to have that danger in you, but there's probably a way to make it work that's not so I don't know, destructive or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what Michael Corleone thought.
So you think you're
And
doomed?
then he joined the business. I mean, someone shoots at your dad, sure.
Well, I mean, that's why, I have empathy with George Bush for going to Iraq. Like, Saddam Hussein did try to kill his dad.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said it during a press conference. He's like, look, Saddam Hussein tried to kill my father. Like, I think he put like a hit on him or something like that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I mean, so did we and Saddam.
No, I'm not. Look, hey, we've given plenty of countries reasons to come back on us, baby. But
Yeah, look, guys, I understand you're upset, but it's his dad.
yeah, I'd be like, they tried to kill his dad. He's got an army. What the fuck would you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much motivation for me to be like, he's doing what? He didn't let our investigators where? You think he's got a bomb? That's all justification I need. Let's go kick
Send
some
him in.
fucking ass. But I think it would have been cooler in my, kind of simplified hero brain to be like, I think George should have been like, the King style or Achilles against Boagrius and been like, he should have just trained, Muay Thai, Jits, wrestling, integration of all of them, and been like, Saddam, meet me in Istanbul, pick a neutral site,
Yeah.
and let's just settle this mano a mano, one-on-one.
That would have been legit.
That's why when everyone's like, oh, Napoleon's such a badass, like, he won the battle of like Austerlitz or something. I'm like, it would have been cooler if just him and the Duke of Wellington squared up one-on-one to settle it.
Mm-hmm. That's what Achilles said. Imagine a king who fights his own battles.
Yeah, have some
Wouldn't
skin in
that
the
be
game.
a sight?
Aaron,
Yes, sir.
who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with haggling.
Oh.
I don't like it. I don't like doing it. I didn't like doing it when I bought my car. I'm not looking forward to doing it. I've already gone through it a little bit selling my car, my old car. I just want to set a price, or I just want to pay a price that is set. Let's all come to terms with what things cost and what you're going to pay.
I think you need the schmoll.
I know.
Dude. You need a...
You got to bring a schmoll with you.
Because Kevin loves to negotiate.
Yep.
Kevin will get you a deal.
That's what I needed. I needed a schmoll for sure.
And he'll do it. He loves being deputized.
Yeah.
He's like Doc Holliday, where he's like, now it's legal. He just pulls his jacket over. He's got a badge that says permission to debate or permission to haggle for Aaron.
I'll text him right now. He came to my place. He's like, this place is nice. Should have asked for commission.
My beef of the week is with two people I like. It's with Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama. Their new podcast is trash.
They have a podcast together.
It's like they're just too much on it. You know what I mean? It's like this folksy vision of like, Bruce Springsteen. I love Bruce Springsteen. He's my favorite artist of all time, favorite musician of all time. But I didn't like his book, and I don't like listening to him talk. I think it almost becomes caricature of who he is, where it's all too like folksy and like nostalgic and kind of like, down to earth. It's like, it's perfect in his music. But then when he's talking, he's like, Barack, I remember when I used to go down to the ice cream corner at Asbury Park and, my crush, Shelly Cecil, would be over there and she'd get a scoop of Oreo ice cream for $1.99. And Barack's like, and you're like, what are you even talking about, dude? You have been famous for 50 years, Bruce. I just think, Bruce, stick to music. Barack, stick to being president. I don't know why. I don't like this whole new Barack like media thing that he's doing where he's like rolling out. I mean, some of the docs are good. That American Factory one is great. But like, I don't know. It just feels like it feels beneath him. And then the Bruce Springsteen stuff is just like, I don't know. He just sounds incredibly, he's like trying so hard to be in touch. He just sounds incredibly out of touch. Mm-hmm. And I love Bruce Springsteen, but yeah, I got through 10 minutes of the podcast and I was just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut up. Meanwhile, I have a podcast where we talk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Whatever. Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Gemma, the matriarch of the Sons. Just a badass lady, you know. She's not afraid to do the dirty work and look after. She cares about Jax. She cares about Clay. She cares about the entire club. She cares about the family. She's Clay's old lady, which means she doesn't take shit from anyone, and that means something in Charming, you know. So, my babe of the week is Gemma, you know, badass lady, getting shit done, just being a boss.
Hell yeah. Aaron, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is my new car, the hashtag Dad Tank. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Great car.
It's like driving on butter compared to my old car, which is an Xterra, 2005, 150,000 miles, $4,000. Come on, come at me, DM me.
You only put 150,000 on there?
No, I had a really short commute for like 6 years.
Oh.
I drove like 3 miles to work every day. So
Nice.
yeah, it was beautiful.
Nice.
And it's in really great shape. But you know, it's an SUV. It's made for off-road, and it's really bouncy. And the Grand Cherokee's a little more sleek, a little more stylish, a little more for that city life. Although it has the muscle for going out there, but yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely to finally have all the bells and whistles, because I've always bought cars where I'm like, give me what will not break down. So no power windows, no like all the stuff that could break. And now it's like, now I have all that stuff. And it's awesome.
Nice, dude. Dude, my babe of the week is bro talk. I find when I get into real moments of crisis, I actually talk more like a bro than when I ordinarily do. Like when me and my GF would be having hard conversations and I felt very like raw and vulnerable, I would talk like such a bro. I'd be like, look, straight up, I need you to keep it 100 with me right now, okay? I was like, dude, like we're skewing off track. I was like, I need you to step up and just keep it 100. And I was like, man, I'm like so bro-y when
It's your true nature.
my true nature, when everything is on the table and it's just my heart is exposed, I'm just a bro.
She like, I feel you, dog.
She's like, for real, dog, I'm trying to meet you halfway, but like, I know you're coming in kind of aggro. And I'm like, for real, I know I'm being aggro, but like, that's my true nature. And I need you to kind of understand that. But I'll work on being less reactive for sure, dude. Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Half Sack. He's the prospect of the Sons of Anarchy. I'm just doing Sons of Anarchy this week because that's all I've been doing. Is just watching. No, I've been doing stuff, but it's just on my mind a lot because I think they're all so badass. I already had Jax. You know, he's a fucking badass dude. He fires me up. But Half Sack steps up and he's the prospect and he's getting shit done. He's a tough dude. I think he's one of the best prospects I've ever seen. He's only got one nut. He's doing this all with one nut. He's got the courage of a guy with 5 nuts. You know.
That's weird to picture.
But I like it.
5 nuts in a sack?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Someday. But yeah, I just what up, Half Sack? You're a legend, dude. I really respect what you're doing for the club, for the squad, and you're taking it like a champ. So yeah, I hope you get patched in.
Legend. Aaron, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is this guy named Mike Fellows. He's a comic. I think he's here in LA, but he has a great Instagram account called Memeing Into the Void. I repost him a lot. I put it in my stories a lot. The guy's just such a heavy hitter. Just makes these incredible memes. Slams on a lot of. He slams on both sides, really. But I mean, just takes Ben Shapiro to task, which I love. had a great day when Rush Limbaugh died, which was a great day for us all. Yeah, so memeing into the void. Follow him. Get after it.
That's the Instagram, memeing into the void?
Memeing into the void, yeah.
Nice.
It's hard for me to get stoked when someone dies, but I respect people who do get stoked when people die.
You do?
Yeah, because I like that gear. Like Christopher Hitchens, after Jerry Falwell died, Sean Hannity was like, you should feel bad. He's dead. He's like, I don't feel bad. He was bad for America. I'm celebrating. My legend of the week is Maverick from Top Gun.
Nice.
I just watched Top Gun the other day. And look, I know he's a wild card, but when he's in the Top Gun dogfighting and he Viper's in there, the legend Viper, and he's like, hey, I'm bailing on our wingman. I need Viper. And he's chasing Viper, and then Viper's like, damn, this kid's good. That just gets me fired up. I love that he's got to go for it. You know what I mean? He's a dog on a bone, and he's always going to chase that rush, that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie. It's weird watching it now and like kind of seeing some of the beats of it, because when Goose dies, literally the next scene, Viper, Tom Skerritt's in the like locker room with him, and he can tell that Maverick's feeling. He's like, hey, pilots die. You need to let him go. I'm like, he died 5 minutes ago.
He's in his tidy whities, right?
Yeah, he's just in there. He's like, just looking in the bathroom mirror. He's like, oh, fuck. Like, who am I without my best friend and my co-pilot? I don't know if I'll be able to get through this. I feel so much guilt. And then Viper's like, hey, bro, get over it. Like, he just, like, the body's not even cold yet.
Okay, director's like, let's get in your tidy whities for this one.
I mean, he's naked the whole time.
Yeah.
A lot of good bodies in that movie.
Also, Iceman takes no punishment for Goose's death.
What was his culpability?
They got caught in his jet wash.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what caused them to do the spin. Because he wouldn't get out of the way. He wanted to keep taking the shot.
Iceman is kind of, I mean, the whole movie, he's just like trying to like find ways to, I guess, you know, he's coming from a place where he wants Maverick to be more responsible. But like every time he's like, hey, so when you were in that negative G-force dive with the MiG, who was watching Cougars back? And I'm like, that's so like aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you know, they're fighter pilots.
Yeah.
Also, Mav, when they first hit on Kelly McGillis and sing her the song, and she's like, hey, I'm here with another guy. She goes into the bathroom. Mav follows her into the bathroom. Mm-hmm. She's like, what, are we going to hump on the toilet? And then he grabs the counter. He's like, I was thinking we could use this counter. He smiles at her. I was like, whoa, dude.
Follow her into
Too close for missiles. You're going to blow, Mav.
He walks in. She's like, I'm taking a shit.
She's like, I'm dumping, dude. I got to take a fat shit. I just had like 6 chicken wings. He's like, we should fuck. We should fuck in here.
He walks in, he kicks open the door, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm taking a dump. And he's like, gives that like trademark smile. He's like,
sorry, I didn't know you'd be shitting in here. She's like, it is the bathroom.
yeah,
dude.
cut to her face, and she's just sitting there like,
Can you leave, bro? And she's such a mensch. When she leaves, she goes up to Goose and she's like, your friend was amazing.
yeah.
And then Mav comes out, he acts like he just had sex. He's like, oh, God. I think, you know, now, if you did that, I'm like, bro, you followed her into the bathroom? I'm like, dude, you got to ease up, dog.
Yeah, when she went to go, she's like, he came in there while I was shitting.
Yeah, your friend just came in the bathroom and I was shitting. Can you, like, corral this dude?
He comes out and he's like, yeah, we fucked. And she's like, she told me that you came in while she was shitting. He's
Oh,
like,
she told you that?
yeah, my bad.
Yeah. I didn't
Kicks
wanna
open
lose
the stall door.
He doesn't even kick it in. He jumps up and, like, puts his head over. He's like, oh, my bad.
she's like, can you leave? I got to wipe my ass.
Dude, I was at a bar in the Mission in San Francisco one time, and this guy was in the stall for like 45 minutes, and everyone was banging on the door. We're like, hey, what the hell's going on in there?
Yeah.
And then I finally, I'm like, I got to check on this dude.
Yeah.
So I jump up and I stick my head over, and it was just a guy taking a shit. Like, it was like, I was surprised. I was like, what did I expect to see? But he was literally in there for like an hour, and he wasn't responding to anyone. We're like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What's going on in there? You good? You get no answer. I guess he was just embarrassed. And then so finally I'm like, all right, I got to do something. There's like 8 people in this bathroom. So I jump up and I stick my head over and then just a guy looks up at me shitting. And I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, dude, Kelly McGillis goes in the bathroom. Mav's just like, she kicks open the door, walks in. He's like, oh, fuck, my bad.
Oh, what are you doing in there? Oh, that makes sense.
Goes up to Goose. He's like, how'd it go, Mav? She's taking a shit.
She's taking a shit. I think we should leave the bar. Can you pay the tab? I'm going to be waiting in the car.
Yeah, Goose is like, I wouldn't even do that to my wife, Meg Ryan.
Yeah, I know. She's adorable in that movie.
He opens the door. He's like, whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Puts on his sunglasses like, my bad. Then she shows up as his like, instructor the next day. He's like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Do you guys know each other? Yeah, I walked in on her while she was taking a shit.
How'd that happen? Well, I followed her into the girl's bathroom just after meeting her trying to fuck. Everyone's like, all right, Mav, we're going to need you to just chill a little bit, bro. You're a good pilot, but you got to chill a little bit. That's probably not the first time he's done that, you know?
All right, cowboy. You came head to head with a Meg? Yeah, I did. Cool, I'm going to go to the bathroom. All right.
I know what she means. Yeah. I know what she's talking about. All right, Chad, what's your quote of the week?
Mav, we got to kick you out of Top Gun. Why?
Because you're following girls into the bathroom.
Yeah, you walked into one of our top female professors while she was taking a shit, trying to fuck her.
Yeah, when you repeat it back to me like that, I totally understand why I have to leave.
That's the whole movie.
But the thing is, I'm kind of like I'm a wild card. I just follow my instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it backfires.
Fly by the seat of my pants.
Yeah. He's just following everyone into the bathroom. Like after Viper tells him he's got to get over it, Viper goes into the toilet. He's like, pfft. I'm not over Goose dying. They're like, yeah, dude, we understand, process it, but like, can you leave me alone?
Maverick, right after Goose dies, Maverick he's in the bathroom and he's taking a shit, and Viper just comes over the door. He's like, hey, what's up, dude? He's like, Viper, can you give me like a second? I'm taking a shit.
And
like,
none of these pilots understand boundaries.
You got to get over it. And then Goose comes head over. He's like, yeah, man, sorry about that.
Hey, sorry about Goose, man. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Sorry. I'm fine.
It'd be another opportunity for like a callback. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. It's like looking over the bathroom at him. Negative Ghost Rider.
Kick the door open. Hey, Mav, I heard you buzz the tower. Yeah, I did. Can you close the bathroom stall now? Is it really necessary to get this in now?
Tony Scott's like, this is gold.
It is pretty funny. If you just like followed a girl into the bathroom at a bar, like in modern times.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'd be like 9 women in there too. They'd be like, what the fuck are you doing in here? You're like, I'm trying to sleep with her.
Take a photo of you.
Yeah.
Put it on Twitter.
Put it on the wall of the bar. Yeah.
Like, fuck. Dude.
Mav's like smiling in the photo. He's like, Top Gun. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
I gotta look it up. This comes from, I gotta go with Sons of Anarchy, Jack Steller. I never lose. Either I win or I learn.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Aaron, what's your quote of the week?
I gotta find something. I've been looking forever.
I'll go real quick. My quote of the week is Adam Curtis on the Red Scare podcast. And he was talking about how we're all so self-conscious in the contemporary age. We're even like self-conscious when we're alone. Like we just constantly feel like we're being observed. And he was saying how in traditional culture, like modern culture, men are always watching and women always feel like they're being watched. But he says that something is flipped and now men feel like they're always being watched as well.
Oh, interesting.
And so we've all kind of inherited a culturally traditional feministic outlook. And none of it's like innate. It's just things that have been conditioned into us and a result of like larger structures. So I'm not speaking any like essential kind of masculinity or femininity, but that's just kind of how it's been worked out. And now it's kind of changed. Now we all feel like we're being observed all the time, and there's just this incredible self-consciousness that permeates everything. Mm-hmm. Because it's true, even when I'm at home alone just sitting there, I'm like, I always feel like I have to do something. I always feel like I have to like almost be performing for like an invisible audience. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't just be sitting here doing nothing. I need to be working out or like, you know, writing an email or something like that. And it's this, I don't know, it's almost different than needing to feel productive. It's almost like needing to appear productive. And it's, yeah, I think it's pretty true to how everyone's feeling right now. And, you know, I'm like a performer by nature, so maybe it's like acute in me, but I don't know. I think it's kind of across the board. We're all just feeling a little too seen. Or Aaron, you got yours?
Yeah. It's from a Jimmy Eat World song called Be Sensible. It was a bonus track on Chase the Slight, so it's available on iTunes, but you may not have had it on if you have the album already. I just like that the song is called Be Sensible, but the chorus is don't get comfortable, don't be sensible, swing with all you have, and stop me if you can.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after?
Dude, can you get out of here? I'm taking a shit.
Nice, dude. Hey, Ron, what's yours?
Let's go follow some girls. No, that's not right. Follow some girls in the bathroom.
Yeah, we got a young listenership. We should watch it with them.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, please, guys.
You remember how I said about be sensible? Don't do what I just said.
You got one, Aaron?
I don't have one.
All right, mine is from what's that guy's name? His name's Naval something. He's like a really good talker. He was on Joe Rogan. He was on the Timothy Ferris podcast.
I've heard Naval, yeah.
Yeah, but he always posts like a good series of quotes on his Instagram, and I like this one a lot. Whatever you deny yourself will become your mental prison. Yeah,
it's true.
All right, dudes.
Dude, I was just thinking one more thing about the Top Gun thing. You know when Kelly McGillis like appears in their class and he's not aware until that moment, and he just goes, she's like walks in, he's like, call son Charlie, and she just appears and he's like, oh. But he's just like to Goose, he's like, oh. Goose is like, what's up? He's like, I walked down her taking a shit while trying to fuck her. Dude, I was trying to fuck her and I walked down her taking a shit.
Oh, she walks in. He's like, oh my god. Hey,
call sign Deuce.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check out our merch, shopcgd.com. We got fresh new tees, hoodies, hats. Represent Stoke Nation, support us. That'd be much appreciated. But just you guys listening and being legends is support enough. And keep leaving reviews because that helps the podcast, helps boost us in the I don't even know what, but I've heard it helps. So if you like the pod, leave us a review. And yeah,
that's it.
All right, see you guys later.
Yeah.
If you need advice,